Australian crocodile hunter Steve Irwin has died during a diving expedition near Port Douglas in Australia.
The boss who saved a Sunshine Coast man from the jaws of a crocodile says he was just acting on instinct.
In front of that crocodile, I was in complete control, absolute and complete control. That is my profession.
The next moment, you could see Irwin pulling out the stinger, and then the next moment, he's gone.
Into his chest and put a hole into his heart. He possibly died instantly.
Conservation is my job, my life.
In the vast wilderness of Australia, where nature reigned supreme, one man stood out among the rest. His name was Steve Irwin, affectionately known as the Crocodile Hunter. With his infectious enthusiasm and unwavering passion for wildlife, he became a beloved TV personality and wildlife conservationist, captivating audiences around the world. For decades, Steve Irwin dedicated his life to showcasing the wonders of the natural world. Through his captivating documentaries, he provided a window into the realm of wildlife, while his fearless encounters with dangerous creatures solidified his reputation as a modern-day adventurer. The sudden loss of Steve Irwin sent shockwaves across the globe, leaving millions grieving the premature departure of a true champion for wildlife conservation. But before tragedy struck, Steve Irwin's journey into the wild began with a childhood spent among the wonders of nature. From a tender age, Steve was drawn to the magic of wildlife. His parents, Bob and Lynn, instilled in him a deep love and respect for all creatures great and small. It was in these formative years that Steve's passion for the natural world was ignited. Together with his family, Steve dedicated himself to the care and preservation of wildlife. Their small wildlife park became a haven for orphaned and injured animals, a place where Steve learned firsthand the importance of compassion and protection. As Steve Irwin's love for wildlife grew, so did his desire to share his passion with the world. In 1991, fate brought Steve Irwin and Terry Raines together during her vacation in Australia. Little did they know that their shared love for wildlife would lead to a groundbreaking television show. The couple's adventurous honeymoon, which involved filming crocodiles, became the foundation for their Australian TV show, The Crocodile Hunter, in 1992. Audiences were captivated by Steve's fearless encounters with dangerous animals, and the series quickly gained popularity. 4 years later, the American cable network Animal Planet picked up The Crocodile Hunter. Its global reach expanded, captivating audiences in more than 200 countries. Steve Irwin's wild expeditions and close encounters with wildlife made him a household name. Irwin's fearlessness knew no bounds. He fearlessly faced deadly snakes, spiders, lizards, and of course, crocodiles. Audiences were spellbound by his thrilling adventures. But beyond the adrenaline rush, Steve considered himself a wildlife educator, using his platform to share his knowledge and passion for animals. Always clad in his trademark khaki shirt and shorts, Steve Irwin became an iconic figure in popular culture. His catchphrase, "Crikey," became synonymous with his exuberance and Australian charm. Parodies and spoofs of the famed adventurer became common, with even shows like The Simpsons and South Park playfully imitating him. Irwin didn't shy away from embracing his image as an energetic naturalist and showman. He appeared as himself in the 2001 film Dr. Dolittle 2 with Eddie Murphy and starred alongside his wife in their own film The Crocodile Hunter Collision Course in 2002. Steve cherished every moment he had to share his love for wildlife with his children, Bindi and Robert. He taught them the importance of treating every living being with kindness and respect. Above all, he took pride in being a father, wanting to be remembered as a good dad. However, on September 4th, 2006, another ordinary day at work awaited 44-year-old Steve Irwin as he loaded his truck with supplies and equipment, preparing for a shoot at Bat Reef near Port Douglas in northern Australia. The purpose of this expedition was to capture underwater footage for an upcoming documentary called Ocean's Deadliest, produced by the Discovery Channel and directed by John Stanton. Little did they know, this would become a day etched in history. John Stanton, the director of the documentary, couldn't shake an eerie feeling that something ominous was about to unfold. He voiced his concerns to his friends and his production team, urging them to reconsider. However, due to the substantial financial investment already made, the channel was unable to afford any further delays. Despite his unease, John drafted a will and reluctantly embarked on the journey to the reef with Steve Irwin and their cameraman Justin Lyons. As they boarded the Croc 1, Steve Irwin's research boat, the crew prepared for their journey to the Bat Reef near the Great Barrier Reef. Their goal was to encounter a shark for filming, but the conditions were not favorable. Disheartened, they contemplated calling off the shoot for the day. Just as they were about to abandon their quest, Steve Irwin's keen eyes caught sight of something unexpected, an elegant stingray. Fascinated by its beauty, he couldn't resist the opportunity to capture it on film. Unbeknownst to them, this encounter would take an unimaginable turn. Steve approached the stingray with a sense of familiarity and respect. He understood that these creatures were generally harmless unless provoked. Confident in his experience, he signaled the cameraman, Justin Lyons, to capture this remarkable moment for his daughter Bindi's upcoming show. As Steve and Justin swam closer to the stingray, their cameras rolling, they marveled at the rare proximity they had achieved. The majestic creature glided gracefully through the underwater landscape, seemingly unaware of their presence. Then, in an instant, the tranquility shattered. The stingray, without warning, launched its long, serrated tail upwards, piercing Steve Irwin's chest with devastating force.
Swam away. I didn't even know it had caused any damage, that Steve was standing in a huge pool of blood.
Despite the excruciating pain, Steve Irwin's unwavering determination prevailed. He urged Justin to continue filming, even in the face of imminent danger. Little did they know that these moments would become the final testimony of Steve's unyielding spirit.
I mean, even if we'd been able to get him into an emergency ward, we probably wouldn't have been able to save him because the damage to his heart was massive.
Justin and their crew sprang into action, desperately trying to save their beloved friend. With every passing moment, Steve's life slipped away, but they fought against all odds, pleading with him to hold on. His wife and children were on a trip in Tasmania when they heard the news of Steve Irwin's demise, and they were devastated and inconsolable at the tragic loss of their husband and father. His wife, Terry, and his children, Bindi and Rob, immediately traveled to the Australian Zoo, which Steve Irwin had run. As they arrived in the Australian Zoo, the place Steve had poured his heart and soul into, they were met with an outpouring love and consolation from thousands of adoring fans gathered outside. The crowd, deeply touched by Steve's dedication to wildlife and his infectious enthusiasm, stood united in honoring his memory. Steve Irwin had earlier remarked that he would consider his final purpose in life fulfilled if he could pass on the torch of nature conservation to his children. In keeping with their father's wish, Bindi and Rob, overwhelmed by their grief but driven by their love for Steve and their passion for wildlife, made a solemn commitment to carry on his legacy. The loss of their father ignited a fire within them, fueling their dedication to wildlife conservation. Bindi and Rob became dedicated zookeepers and conservationists, working tirelessly to protect and preserve the natural world that Steve held so dear. Their journey wasn't easy, but their father's teachings and the support of their mother Terry and the loyal fans who stood by them every step of the way provided them strength and determination. With each passing day, Bindi and Rob embraced their roles as ambassadors for wildlife, taking on the responsibility of continuing Steve Irwin's mission. They became voices for the voiceless, raising awareness about conservation issues and championing the need to protect endangered species. In the face of tragedy, the Irwin family found strength, unity, and purpose. Steve Irwin's memories lives on not only through the laughter and joy he brought to our screens, but through the profound impact he had on the world of conservation. Though he may have left this world too soon, his legacy endures, forever reminding us of the importance of protecting and cherishing our natural world. Steve Irwin the Crocodile Hunter may have met a tragic end, but his spirit and passion for wildlife will forever echo through the pages of history. As we venture forth into the great unknown, let us remember his words. I believe that education is all about being excited about something. Seeing passion and enthusiasm helps push an educational message. Steve's legacy will continue to inspire generations to come.